Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Red Hot Racing League, brought to you by Circle B Diecast. Tonight, we go out to Watkins Glen International. The Truck Series IRL actually gets to visit here this year, which is going to be pretty exciting. But we get to see some virtual racing on Watkins Glen from the Truck Series. It ought to be a blast. Watkins Glen, typically looked at as one of the easier road courses, one of those that every driver is typically okay at, but it can present some problems for certain drivers like myself who are no good at road courses no matter where we go. Um, but yeah, it's going to be a really good race here tonight. I believe this is race 3 in the playoffs. So really looking forward to some good playoff action. A lot of different things that can happen tonight. A lot of switch ups in the playoff positioning. So it ought to be a good race tonight. And Abyss will get you with our starting lineup here tonight at Watkins Glen, sponsored by Circle B Diecast. Abyss.
Yes, indeed. Thank you, Gavin. Here we go. Starting in the rear, we have a Foreign Fuel. Starting in the 20th position, we have Legend. In the 19th, we have Cringy Chris. In the 18th position, we have Lord Billis. In the 17th, we have T-Glass. 16th, we have JGR Fan. 15th, we have OK Sideways. 14th, we have Boomin. In the 13th, we have Yeti. In the 12th position, we have Drew. 11th, we have Fabico Gamer, sorry. The 10th, we have Haha Boog. Ninth, we have Gamers. In the 8th position, we have Air Just Cause. 7th position, 5th position, we have Trippy. And then in the 4th, we have Mr. Slide Job. 3rd, we have Material Zero. 2nd, Graham Cracker. And the man starting on front, Mr. Asylums. Now, as we go over to your point, if I can find that real quick. Here we go in the playoff hunt right now. Asylums is leading with a gap of 37 over the cut line, but the man in second is Mr. Slide Job. He's only 26 above the cut line. Graham Cracker is only 23 above the cut line. Gamers is only 13 above the cut line. Fabico Gamer is only 13 below the cut line. Trippy is only 34 below. Air Just Cause is 47, and Fung is Foreign Fuel is only 63 points out of the final four right now, Gavin.
Yeah, a lot of tough playoff action here in these first couple of races, and I believe they got until the final race to make their strides here, especially those guys that are under the cutoff are going to have to look for something here this evening. Some guys I'd like to see do well here in the playoffs, of course, and you got a couple of road course ringers in this playoffs, and just a couple guys that are just good at NASCAR heat in general. So looking forward to seeing how the skill of each driver plays into a factor here. So we'll have to see how guys like Trippy, who are 30-some points below the cut, need to make their way up through this cut and cut off some of those points that they are below. So if you're below the cut line, it's kind of, at this point, something that you want to look to is to chunk points. So gain points in chunks. You want to see if you're Foreign Fuel and Air Just Cause, maybe like 10 to 15 points gained on that cutoff line if you can do that. And then if you're people like Gamer, you want to extend by a chunk of points because you're only 13 above the cut line and nothing is guaranteed. Anybody up in this playoff hunt right now could have a terrible race and see themselves all the way from the top to the bottom. So anything really can change here in the playoffs, and we're looking to see how tonight unfolds. There's only one way to find out, and that's by getting down to the track, which we should be getting down there soon. But we'll see how this race plays out. Kevin, is there anything you would like to add? I know strategy, something to look forward to. What are they getting on fuel here tonight?
Well, when we go look at the fuel, the first two stages, it's not going to be a problem. First stage with the pace lap will be about 7 laps of green flag racing, and then of course stage lap fuel is going to come into play. Not going to be all that major of a fuel game. It's just going to be kind of when you stop. That's about all. However, the big difference here, I don't know if you've talked about this yet, Gavin, as you've heard in the. I've had a lot going on the last 5 minutes as far as background noise, but the one big thing, and we saw this take a huge effect earlier this season, all the way back the third race of the season at Canadian Tire, or fourth race of the season, sorry, Canadian Tire. once again, one of the caveats with the road courses here in RHRL is we don't have cautions. There's no damage, but we're not running any cautions either. So if you get in trouble, that's tough luck. You better just suck it up, move on really quick, and try to salvage what you can. And I think, this being a playoff race, that's going to be a big deal. You also add in the fact, let's break down this track a little bit. It's got 11 different turns in it, but they only count 7 because the bus stop was a late addition to the track back in the 90s. But you add in all this. There's about, I'd say, 3 major passing zones. If you're feeling really confident in yourself, you might be able to try to pass into the bus stop, but that's a little bit more difficult to do. Sometimes it can be tough to go too wide through there, but turn 1 is probably your best passing zone. You head up through 2, 3, and 4. Those are the sequence of turns. That's the S's. Head down to the bus stop, and that will get you there again. Like I said, kind of a sequence of a right, combination there. Then you head out of there again. Like I said, that's kind of one of the passing zones. It's a hard braking zone off the down the back straightaway. You can kind of dive it in there, but there will be some possible penalties given out for people cutting down there through the grass, so that's something we'll have to pay attention to. Then, of course, you got turn 5. That's the carousel that leads you onto the second little straightaway here, which is turn 6. Turn 6 is another passing zone, which leads over to the short chute and down to turn 7, our final corner and our final passing zone, and then of course back up the hill to the start-finish line. So you don't have a ton of passing zones here, but you can make use out of them. And of course, there's obviously people will make mistakes and that type of thing. That'll help as well. But that's the other thing too. You got to keep the truck on the track. Don't go off in the grass on each side. So a whole lot of room for mistakes here. No cautions to really save you. So in the playoffs, there is a whole lot on the line here, a whole lot that can be lost. So this is going to be a fun race, and I definitely think this is probably the biggest wild card of the playoffs that we will see. Of course, after we finish this race up, we only have 2 races left until we decide our final 4, those being Kansas next weekend and then Homestead in a couple of weeks. So this is going to be the big wild card. People sometimes struggle with these road courses while others excel. It's going to be fun to watch, Gavin.
Yeah, it's something that's very interesting to note is that they're going to be watched very, very closely there through that bus stop, and where a lot of guys like to extend track limits as far as they can, they might get called out for it, and that's something that they got to be aware of and especially be extremely careful of, because that could be the killer of the race if they have to go stop and go on the track or send it down to pit road for a stop and go down pit road. So anything can happen, and we're willing to see how these guys are willing to put their trucks on the line here tonight as we are now about to go green. Here we go, green flag at Watkins Glen International. Asylums takes the lead early. He's going to lead them down into turn 1. The 68 of Graham Cracker right behind, and the whole field getting through turn 1 pretty good. Some cars a little pit wide there. Asylums, though, is getting out to a decent lead up through the S's. Asylum still in the lead. Graham Cracker in second. Third is Mr. Sidejump. Fourth, Gamer is blazing. And I believe fifth, Trippy Tricks right there. So a lot of your top competitors in the Truck Series already out in the top 5 early here of this. And Asylum goes wide.
Here he goes. Asylum has a very huge wreck out of the bus stop.
Death at Watkins Glen.
As of that, Graham takes the lead, but he goes wide and now loses the lead to who is that? Slide Job takes the lead. Very interesting lead changes here and going down into this corner right here. I'm not sure what this corner is I'm on. Turn 6, okay. As here we go into turn 7. Looks like Slide Job's actually going to lead this lap, but here comes Asylums hunting for that lead back, Kevin.
And look, after a first lap here, look, in a previous league that I called for, I saw something really similar to that happen to the pole sitter coming out of the bus stop. It's not hard, when you're the leader, and you don't have anybody else to really judge off of. It's not impossible to push it a little bit hard off that bus stop and kind of miss your mark in the carousel, maybe jump the curb, whatever, like you saw Simons do. It caused a little bit of trouble. There, people went wide. That's one of the fun things about this road course racing. There's a lot more than just keeping it under. You have to be very, very careful about what you're doing. But meanwhile, Asylums has recovered well, and in fact is trying to go see if he can chase back down your leader, Gavin.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough task, too, with Slide Job being
Whoa!
really good at tracks like this. There's now about to be side-by-side here. Asylum's really looking to see if he can put the hammer down on Slide Job here. Slide Job looks to be lagging a little bit. Could be the server, but it looks like there's a little bit of lag here, as now we're going to see a battle for the lead. The 6 gets down underneath the 2. They're side-by-side. The 2's going to get a better exit off the corner. And now the 50 is going to get some draft pull. The 38 is going to go below the 6. 3 wide down the front straightaway here at Watkins Glen. 5 laps remaining, Abyss.
Yes, indeed, as they exit turn 1 there, as they go into the S, it's still going to be side-by-side with Slide Job and Asylums, as Asu's going to have to let off a break here. They're still side-by-side, 4 rows deep. Asylums to the lead once again. Ooh, he looks like Slide Job hit sideways as the top 5 right now, as they go into the bus stop here. As will anyone miss it? Ooh, Slide Job gets into Asylums. They're coming out of there, going into the carousel. They are battling here right now. Here comes Trippy into second, Harvick coming out of the carousel.
Indeed, coming out of the carousel, and the one thing I'm noticing is there is a lot of competition throughout this field, but how about somebody that made a huge move? That 38 truck of OK Sideways. Of course, we know he's very good at road courses. He's got 2 road course wins in the, a Cup win and an Xfinity win at the other road course we were at this season, Mid-Ohio. For those 2 series, he won both of those. He went from 15th to about 5th or 4th within about a lap and a half. So that 38 has a ton of speed. He is in here and he is looking for a checkered flag, but again, this one is known as one of the easier road courses in the game. There's a lot of guys that seem to be good here, even if they're not known as road course ringers or anything like that. A lot of guys really seem to be able to show up here, even if road courses aren't their strong suit, and we're seeing that now. A whole lot of guys pretty close together. Things have managed to spread out a little bit now as these guys head down into the bus stop for the 3rd time tonight. But it's been a fun race so far. A lot of side-by-side action. That's not something you always get at Watkins Glen early on. Gavin?
Well, something to remark here, Sideways could be the first to win a road course in all 3 series, and he would be the second to win in all 3 series. That would be a pretty cool stat to have. And also want to say thank you, Captain, for the 1-month subscription. Appreciate it, brother. Back up front, though, Asylum still leading here, but Sideways still chasing him down. The gap is closed about half of what it used to be. Haha Boog now in the 3rd, and I want to remark, Haha Boog made a really aggressive move about a couple laps ago, passing in the grass on the high side right out of the S's. That was a pretty epic move by him. I just wanted to remark that because it was pretty sick to see, and it wasn't mentioned at the time. But back up front, the field a little bit more spread out, but Sideways and Boog, a couple guys we know for their road course ability, trying to chase down Asylums, who is, as we've run at Watkins Glen and road courses throughout the season, you have seen major improvement here from Asylums in these road courses, and it seems to have more of a better understanding of how road courses work in the game. And it would be a great feat to see Asylums come home in victory lane tonight with the road course win. Something I don't think we've seen out of him in a long time. But Asylums definitely would be a guy that I would put on my list of guys to see win here. Just the raw speed and talent that he has, Abyss.
Yes, indeed, but he has to look out his rear mirror because Sideways is catching at a remarkable pace right now. Last 2 laps, he's gained a lot, and right now, the gap, I would say, is about maybe 5/10 right now. So it's going to be very interesting to see how does Asylum protect. 2 to go at the line. Here they go into the turn 1 here as they continue to have battle. Sideways gets a little bit of a sketchy entrance into the S's here as Asylum has to continue to protect as they kind of just leave Haha Boog in the dust coming out of the S's on to this long straightaway here into the bus stop. Kevin, what do you think is going to happen here?
Tell you what, if you're at 38, and obviously you have to factor in that, Sideways isn't really here for points as much. Asylum's and a lot of these other guys around Sideways are. Asylum's trying to recover from Phoenix had a rough race, obviously came in here pretty solid in the points still, but he's had a couple races that I would say aren't exactly to Asylum standards of what he would usually be running. So having a really good run here at a track that, most maybe wouldn't expect him to run well at. This is statistically his best road course. He, in fact, does have a custom setup win in the trucks at Watkins Glen before. So he's not in RHRL, obviously. First time we've ever been here in RHRL. But as he takes the white flag for stage number 1, he's just got to hope Sideways doesn't get here. And I don't think Sideways will do anything too crazy. He knows what's at stake right here. But either way, we'll see what he can do. He is closing. Can he pass?
Well, that is the question at hand right now, but it looks like Sideways really closing the gap, and he did it really well in the bus stop. I realize Sideways really makes that time up towards the back half of this track. He loses some time in the beginning. Turns 1 and then up through the S is kind of a slower sector for him, but once he gets to this bus stop, this is where his money's made, and look at that, just closes the gap up amazing. Now to the carousel here. Asylum's got to try to hold him off, and Sideways is going to look to try to close that gap. He gets a really decent exit, and now he's got draft as well to help him pull back up to the leader. The gap might be too big, and a desperate move right now wouldn't be something Asylums would be happy with, and I don't think Sideways is going to make a move like that. But we might see something here. They come out of the final turn. Asylums is looking good, and it looks like he is going to hold off. Okay, Sideways make something of it. He won't. Asylums will win stage number 1, with second place being Sideways. Third looks to be Haha Boog. We still got races for the rest of the spots. See if we can see. It looks like Slide Job finishing 4th and 5th. Gamers Blazing wrecked on lap 1. Got wrecked, put in the outside wall, outside of the bus stop. He comes up 5th there, guys, and manages to make a strong recovery for good stage points there.
And I tell you what, keep an eye on that 26 truck. We talked about him a lot at Canadian Tire earlier this season, and I promise he will probably have something to say. He got caught up in some trouble early. He still managed to recover and get himself a top 5. He wants to try to continue that. He was very well inside the top 5 at Canadian Tire, but fuel unfortunately kind of bit him. That won't be an issue for him tonight. So we'll have to see what exactly happens with Gamer, but I expect him to have something to say before the night's over. By the way, the 50, one guy that did not have the best ending to his stage was the 50, one of your playoff drivers of Trippy Tricks. He got turned around in some trouble and lost a few spots. Still came up with a couple of stage points, but a P8, not, I don't think, fair of where he was running. But Abyss, stage 2 is underway.
Yes, indeed. Here they go down in the turn number 1, side by side. First time today. What will happen? Looks like it's going to be a pretty clean exit right now, but Asylum's off to a great lead. Ooh! It looks like the 26 might have hit the wall there, but he continues to go straight. Oh, he didn't? Okay, good. As right now, Sideways has a huge burst of momentum. He's on the back bumper of Asylum's on attack of right now. What is Asylum going to do? Entering the bus stop. Here they come. What will happen as they exit? Asylum still has the lead, Gavin.
Oh, contact!
Yeah, he missed his exit a little bit there, and that kind of checked up the whole field, stuffed Sideways right into the bumper of that 6, and now Sideways is probably going to lose a spot here unless he can hold on. But, yeah, it looks like he's going to hold on there, guys, but the 6 and the 38, a little bit of contact there, the 6 missing that bus stop just a little bit like he did in the beginning of stage number 1, and surprisingly it came on the first lap yet again, and luckily nobody else was wrecked there, so that's something we can be thankful for. But this time, stage 2's first lap will be led by Asylums. The 38, though, has his money made in the bus stop. I'm telling you, he's probably one of the best in this field right now at the bus stop from what I've seen. So I'm really looking for a move to be made on the bus stop. It's now too wide on the S's. He's making a move on the high side. Can Sideways make it happen? He's got the edge, and he's got the preferred line. Let's see if he can make something happen. He's not completely clear yet, but will he be able to clear himself when he gets into the bus stop, Kevin?
Yes, it's huge. Huge. Looks like 4 cars involved, but no caution.
No caution. We don't have cautions. We'll see what happens there. Either way, these guys getting pretty dicey through the bus stop there, Gavin. Of course, we saw Sideways and Asylum's battling going in there. They kind of backed out of it, but it looks like, and I didn't fully see what happened there, but it looks like maybe the 6 and the 50 got into one another after the fact.
Yeah, that might have been what happened just there. Asylums must have missed the bus stop. That's what we're hearing from in-race, our guys that are in the race, giving us lap counts, helping us out. Appreciate them a lot. It looks like the 6 just missed the bus stop, and looks like he lost 2 positions from it. Might lose a 3rd here if Gamer can make something of it. We'll see. Slide Job takes turn number 1 extremely wide. That's going to open up the door now for the 6 and the 26. Let's see if they take advantage, and the 26 will take advantage. Gets kind of slid off into the grass there. Battle for 3rd, heating up, and now the 26 is going to get right on by Slide Job now, who looks to work his way back up, but Sideways got an extremely decent gap. I'd say about a 1.5 seconds on 2nd place. And now that he's in the lead, I don't think he'll be looking back, because this is one of his tracks. He knows he can capitalize on these mistakes of these drivers like he has, and now he just looks to run away with it as Sideways can continue to extend his lead here over the 6, the 26, and the remainder of the field, Abyss.
Yes, indeed. As I'm looking at this 26, I think he might have a car that can contain with Sideways on a short run, but once we get like 4 or 5 laps in, this guy is like a 3rd or 4th place car, but hopefully we get a little bit of a gap here going on right now between the top 3. Looks like it's going to be a 5 to go at the line going into turn 1. It's just pretty much about mistakes. Who can make the least amount of mistakes around this racetrack and just capitalize on precision, because that's what's going to get you the stage 2 win right now. But right now it looks like Trippy is trying to get past Mr. Slide Job here to get back on the right track and get some points that he desperately needs in this playoff hunt for a championship. He is continuing to put pressure on the 2 here. Is he going to do inside the bus stop here? Looks like it's going to be a clean bus stop this time, though. Looks so slow, but it's going to be the 2 continuing to pretty much defend. As I'm talking, looks like Asylums is under attack by the 23, Kevin.
Indeed, and there's a whole lot of moving around going on back here. Asylums, he's going to have to hold this again. This is one of those places where you got to, unless you're side-by-side or somebody makes a mistake. Oh, contact!
Another huge wreck. 3 cars involved.
And it looks like the 6 missing the corner there. That's going to, again, hurt Gamers Blazing, the 2 and the 50. Unfortunately, those guys have been running up front there that whole stage. And if you're the 50 now, it's kind of in scramble mode, because that's the second time you've had this happen in stages 1 and 2. So, and he's going to miss out on points, but he's got to manage now the way to get back up into the front where he belongs. And now I'm kind of worried about the 26. You know, he ran up front and managed to rebound. Can he do it 2 times, though? I mean, we're going to have to see, as now he's going to look to pass the 68 and now looks to battle for Biko for what should be 3rd, if I'm not mistaken. Coming to 3 laps to go, though, guys. Sideways. Let's get a look at Sideways here. He's ought to be just about gone. We'll see where Sideways is. Oh, my goodness. He's got such a lead. He's a whole straightaway.
I think he's headed back up towards Canada.
Look at that, Kevin. I mean, he's about what? Well, I mean, if you look at the top of your screen, I'm looking at the rear chase cam of the 38. Once you get down to the start-finish line, you see that black dot at the top of your screen. That's 2nd place. I would say a fair enough lead for a Sunday drive for this 38 to close out this stage, Kevin.
Indeed, but let's cover a couple of things. First of all, if you're the 50 truck, you've got to be very, very heated right now. And obviously, I know Asylums doesn't always race that way, but look, the fact of the matter is, the same thing has happened twice in one stage. I don't know if the 6 is maybe missing his marks or if he's just over driving, but that's not characteristic of what Asylums usually does. So hopefully he doesn't do that again. Maybe he can get that kind of calmed down, because that's not something you want to be doing to playoff contenders and guys that have speed. That could come back to bite you later. But the other thing is too, in the case of the 50. He missed Phoenix, right? That put him in a huge hole, a hole that he's been trying so hard to dig out of. He had a bit of a rough Michigan race, came up with a solid finish, but he had to go through a lot to get there and didn't get very good stage results. This is a key race for him. If he can come out of here with a really good points day and maybe beat out some others that are going to struggle, that could potentially pull him back into the picture. He came in 34 points out of the final 4. That's a big gap, but he's got 3 races, including this one, to make that up, and it starts here But those mistakes, and again, neither of those were his fault. He's got to try to overcome those and get everything he can.
Yes, indeed. But remember, Kevin, the 2 cars in front of him are playoff contention guys. So this is a big move for him. He needs to get in front of both of these trucks to at least gain some type of points on them today. But as he's gaining with only 2 laps to go, can he get 2 more spots to get back up into the 3rd position? As he's going to be hopefully a very aggressive into this corner as he is. But it looks like this 26 is going to kind of stop him there by going a little bit slower than the 50 expected. But again, they're going to be too wide, so Vico takes it very wide. This is the battle for 3rd, not the stage win, guys. But this is a huge battle when it comes to playoff points, Gavin.
Yeah, and I feel like we're not giving enough love to 1st and 2nd, but this battle is just something we got to keep our eyes on here, as 3rd is right now being contested by 4th and 5th. I mean, and look, the 97 looking to protect that bottom. He doesn't want to risk any sort of draft there, breaking the draft. The 50 is going to get a really aggressive entry in there. 26 is going to leave the door open. That's just going to open up the opportunity for the 50. And now, ooh, the 54 there just cuz wrecking towards the back. That's there. Must have got loose out of turn number 1. Unfortunately for that, just an unfortunate way to go out here in stage 2, but we still got a big battle right here for the stage number 3 spot. Oh, they get side by side. 3 wide out of the bus stop. Oh my goodness, contact is made between the 50 and 97. Did the 97 get antsy or did the 50 send it? We'll have to find out later, but that's going to let the 26 run away with 3rd. Does the 50 have anything for him? This isn't even for the stage win. I mean, this is just an epic battle for 3rd, Kevin.
Absolutely, dude. I mean, these guys, there's points on the line. If you're 26, you loved what you saw there, but
as the Pico doors the 50 at a turn 4, turn 7, sorry. I'm used to regular track racing.
What number?
All I can say is, wow, what a battle. I'm going to assume Sideways won the stage.
Yes, that would be correct.
We'll get up there and look at that. Unless Sideways
gone.
turned around and started driving the other way, I think he won the stage. He did.
I think he still won.
I think he could have probably done that for a minute. He probably could have thrown it in reverse and went down the front straightaway backwards and still won the stage. He was that far gone. But now comes the fun part.
He could have taken a coffee break.
Yeah, probably maybe a couple. But hey, look. That's, the Canadian-born driver. He's shown time and time again that these road courses are his strong suit. Like Gavin said, he's trying to add his name to being only the 2nd person in RHRL history to win in all 3 series. All he needs is this truck win. He has, earlier this season, a Cup and Xfinity win at Mid-Ohio. He's trying to finish off the job, but here comes the fun part, guys. We should have a 17-lap stage 3 right here to decide this thing. 1 pit stop will be included within that. We'll have to see how all this goes. And again, we get another restart, the final one of the day. We've seen how these things go, especially coming out of the bus stop, which seems to be the action spot. Let's see what happens here, Gavin.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be one type of a restart here. The 6 is definitely going to try to hold off at 38 for as long as he can. And Kevin, you forgot to mention the 38, yes, is going to try to be the 2nd to win in all 3 series. But he's also looking to be the 1st to win in all 3 series on a road course. So that's also an epic type of stat to keep track of. The 6 trying to track down this 38, the 50 right behind him. We'll see if the 50, if he races the 6 any differently, maybe a little more aggressive. It looks like he kind of does there. He gets to the inside, moves the 6 out of the way. The 6 going to lose 2 spots for now, but it could be more. We'll see what happens now. Will the 6 try to return the favor? The 38 remains in the lead, and the 26 and the 50 are going to try to duke it out for 2nd possibly here right down the road. But Sideways continuing to lead. It would be an honor for him to win tonight. He would love to see his name up there in a truck with a truck win. That would be awesome for him, Kevin.
A little bit back here. I saw it was either the 6 or just behind the 6. That was interesting. A couple guys off in the grass. They keep going, though.
Yes, indeed, as they go into turn number 1. Looks like Trippy's all over the bumper of OK Sideways. This is what I'm talking about. Sideways doesn't have, I would say, the the short run speed that we're all expecting, but he is that long run speed, which he is famously known for on these type of racetracks. That long run speed, protecting the tire, protecting everything, but using as much as he can. That's what Sideways does best. But Trippy is trying to make him use up all of his stuff, so there's nothing to use in the later stage of races. But here comes Gamers as well right now. It's just insane as Trippy continues to try and challenge him. Ooh. As he hits the wall, and Gamers will take second from him, but now he has to find a way to get back there. But here comes Asylums in the 6th trying to get back the track position he once lost, Gavin.
Yeah, he's gonna have a lot of competitors to try to get around here. As you're gonna flick over to the 6. It looks like he's holding off Haha Boog right now, who is really good. Wrecked back farther in the field. The 17 and the 18 get together out of the final corner. They wreck together.
I don't know how to pronounce Yeti's gamer tag.
You hate to see it. Yeti changed his gamer tag. I'm not even going to try to pronounce it. We're just going to call him Yeti. That sounds great to me. Asylums, though, like Abyss mentioned, sitting in 4th right now. And it looks like he's trying to chase down the 50, and you can only wonder, these two drivers have been caught up in incidents together a few times tonight. I wonder if the 6 is possibly a little angry with what happened there in the bus stop just a couple laps ago. I would figure he could be, but I mean, us as commentators, we try our best to get into the mind of the driver, and sometimes it's very difficult because we don't know how
might be
these drivers
scary
are feeling.
in there.
So, yeah, there could be a lot more things than I want to know going on there. So I try to get the information I want and then get out. But this battle for what looks to be 3rd, which is 3rd, is probably going to start heating up here soon, especially with the 6 being very aggressive here to try to catch this 50, guys. So look for that battle to start heating up as well as 1st, Kevin.
Indeed, and look, let's. I want to highlight a couple of guys too before I continue on. Let's factor this in. We talked about it looked like Sideways had the best truck. Let's keep in mind, first of all, the 50 of Trippy finished 2nd at Canadian Tire earlier this season. Sideways was in that race. Let's keep that in mind. Let's also factor in that Gamer was running top 5 most of that race and got taken out of it because he ran out of fuel. Factor those two things. Also add in the fact that both Trippy and Gamer had gotten caught up in crashes early in the first 2 stages. Sideways did not have that and was able to get away with the lead. They haven't had that issue this time around, and as you see, if you go look at the 26, he's been paying the 38 a visit. 38 Sideways might not want to breathe too easily right now because he's got some company this time around, and we still got a long way to go in this race. I think this is far from over. But again, I'd say there's a couple, especially the 50 is probably a little bit of an underrated road course racer. So let's keep an eye on these guys. I don't think this is over yet, and I apologize for my dogs in the background.
But yes, indeed, right now. But as they continue to battle, I think Gamers has the better entry in turns 1. But again, Sideways is so good in that bus stop, so it's very interesting how they're our battle right now. As you know, I'm going to start the one to watch instead of Gavin, and I'm going to take the low bear.
I only started it once
before he takes it, and I'm taking OK Sideways to take the dub today.
Well, I went 3rd last time. I think I get to get 2nd this time.
No, you can go 3rd again.
I'm going to pick 2nd place. I'm picking my buddy Gamers Blaze, and I like the way he runs these road courses. I've seen what he can do on presets. I think he has what it takes to take home the checkered flag here tonight at Watkins Glen International. And Kevin, that leaves you with the 3rd pick.
Since we're doing this again, I always feel like I always get last when you're here. But anyways, besides that, hey, I'm okay with this pick. I was gonna take the 26, but you know what? Hey, it's all good. My Circle B diecast one to watch is gonna be a guy. He's back here with a vengeance. He's had an interesting race so far, but he's been able to rebound all the incidents. He's come up solid out of them. He is now finding himself around the 3rd position, and he has a fast truck. We still have pit stops coming. I'm going to go, and I guess we're all taking a little hanging fruit today, but how can you not? That 50, no pressure, Mr. Lap Counter, the 50 truck of Trippy Tricks. For my Circle B diecast, one to watch.
Well, Kevin, nothing in the rules says that you can't double down on a driver.
Yeah, but that's no fun.
The 26 is It might not be fun, but I mean, the smart pick could be the 26, it could be the 38, and you know, it very well could be the 50. I feel like the 50 is, just like you said, extremely underrated at tracks like this, and he has been definitely running down these leaders, and it looks like the 38 kind of starting to pull away from the 26, so we'll see. We'll see how these pit stops go, because those
What
can
lap are we on? How many
also
laps to
play
go,
a
Benny?
factor. You know, guys, Sideways is history here at road courses. They go one of two ways. He's either flourishing or it goes down in a fire, which could end up being on pit road, missing the bus stop.
Pit
I mean,
stops
there's so
in
many
2 to 3
ways
laps.
that his race has come to an end, and I've watched this on presets. I've watched it on customs. Sideways is definitely one of the best on road courses, and we can never take that away from him, but the bad luck that he has at these road courses sometimes does ruin the night for him, and you could very well see that tonight, and that's something that you hate to see if you're Sideways, and you hate to see in general, because he's just such a good road course racer. But you gotta keep that in mind. Pit stops, lap traffic, bad luck, all those also play a factor just as much as anything else, guys. So right now our leader remains to be Sideways. Top three, I believe, remains the same. And pit stops are just around the corner.
Not for
literally,
long. A silence to third. A silence to third. So, Kevin, your pick is already falling back a couple of spots. I think you've given him the luck fever right there, Kevin.
I have confidence. But no, let's talk about this. So, well, that was not good. But anyways, we have pit stops coming up. There's a couple of options here. Like I mentioned, this was a 17-lap stage. You get 9 laps on fuel. So there's a little bit of a window here. You can either short pit this by a lap and come in and run your fuel out all the way to the end on the second run and be even and just barely make it, or you can run the fuel out the first run, go a full 9 laps in, and then come out and run the final 8 laps on that tank and tires. So there's a couple of different plays here. There's a couple of different options. It's kind of hard to say which one will be better. I think a lot of it depends on speed. Short pitting could be a little bit helpful because of
the 15
you look
moved to
through
6.
yeah, you look at the tire advantage could be a big deal, but yeah, a little bit of aggression too, and I believe I'm hearing some guys probably going to come in this lap or the next, so we're getting very, very close to that window. This is going to be interesting, and we'll see what happens here, Gavin.
Yeah, we can say pit stops are possibly right around the corner, literally. So we'll see how pit stops cycle out. But just want to give a quick shout out to Coco B100 for being the 100th follower on the channel. Thank you for the follow. I was going to put something in chat, but I'd rather just shout you out on the channel. But Trippy Tricks is going to open up pit cycle here for us. He's going to be the first one to come down pit road, followed by Legend Johnson and a few others as we cycle through our field here tonight. I believe I see Billis going down as well. So that will leave the 3 leaders remaining out right now are OK Sideways, Gamer is blazing, and Asylum. So we'll have to see how these pit cycles cycle out, as I believe now we will see Sideways, Gamer, and possibly Asylums, all 3 take the dip down into pit road.
Sorry, I was thinking what 51 of Haha Boog is doing. I don't know what he was doing. As I'm seeing everyone come down pit road right now, there are many takers. Will OK Sideways be a taker this time by? Yes, he will. And looks like Gamers is also going to fall him down. So this is the battle for the
6
lead.
in.
How good is Trippy? How good is OK Sideways entering and exiting pit road? That's going to be the question in the battle to watch, as everyone hits pit road now. It's like everyone's gotten the signal to pit, guys.
Now keep an eye on where the 50 is. That's going to be the golden question.
He's coming out of the carousel right now.
Hitting that little short shoot on his way to the final 2 corners. I do want to say, Abyss, back to what you were saying, I just saw a thing come up through Discord. Boog's controller died, so that's unfortunate for him. Technical difficulty for Boog, but Trippy Tricks might find himself in a sweet position here if he can beat them out of pit road. He just makes it to the line, now making his way down into turn 1. He's going to pass Asylum. It's going to be close here, I believe. Ooh, Asylum's got out before him there, guys, and will the momentum off of one be enough to get back around? It'll be close as they make some contact again. These guys have been going at it. I believe that's like the 6th time these two have made contact of some sort or pushed through the bus stop or whatnot. So that's like the 6th time these two have made contact together for third. And, you know, the 50 now takes third. His undercut didn't work. Back to the front of this pack. It looks like Sideways' lead has been extended, so we'll have to see. Is Sideways going to be good here for the remainder of the race? So many factors can change the play of a race, and who knows what might happen. And the only way to find out, guys, is to see. So we'll be bringing you some more of this epic action right here on this channel. We get to see Gamers blazing against Sideways here. The battle looks to be closing up. And Abyss, this is one of those tracks where so many things can change your race. What do you think is going through the mind of Sideways right now, looking to get his first ever truck win and be the 2nd person to win in each series?
Well, first of all, he's hoping that no cautions come out, because
We don't have cautions.
Out, you
That's
pit,
not a problem.
or you don't pit. That's oh, there isn't a caution. Oh, well, that explains a lot.
That will not be a factor.
That explains a
That
lot.
won't be a problem.
Okay, so never mind, since that's not an issue. It's just hitting your marks, making sure you're not gonna over throttle it into the corner, hit the wall, or spin out. I don't think lap traffic shouldn't be a factor in this ending at all today. So it's just about just hitting his marks. He needs to make sure that he's downshifting at the right time, upshifting, braking, hitting the throttle. It's all comes together at the end, but it's sometimes it stresses you out and it could fail. But right now, okay, Sideways seems to be loving the pressure as he extends the lead over the 26 right now, and I don't think anyone's catching him for the rest of the race, guys.
Oh!
Okay. Ooh.
Oh no, he saved it. Trouble for the 6. Huge save. He will hold on to the 4th position, but lost a ton of ground to the 50. Actually, from a brief moment there, it looked like he was closing the gap down. Obviously, huge save. He kept his day going pretty solid, but that's probably going to end his chances maybe of getting to the 50. We'll have to see how things go, but tough break for the 6 right there. Big save, though, at the same time. So I guess there's a positive and a negative out of that. But you know what we haven't done yet today, and I'd be kind of interested to do it. We just say we hop and watch the 38 and the 26 and see what the lines these guys are running. Let's crank this up with our Circle B diecast, crank it up, and listen to how these guys are running this racetrack, Gavin. We are back. Of course, you heard there, the guy, what they were doing with the corners here. And again, the one thing that's really cool about road racing, and obviously it's kind of spread out, it doesn't look all that entertaining, but if you're like me and you kind of like seeing, where skill and where different driver talents come into play, a road course is kind of one of those places where that is on full display. You get your hard braking zones, you get your fast, high-speed corners, you get your slower corners. and the different handling that your truck or car is going through, all those things, they matter, and you get to see how each driver is able to contend and deal with that, and where some drivers excel in other parts and where they're weaker compared to others. So I mean, there's a whole lot of other factors besides just the race that we're seeing behind each helmet, or I guess each console here, each driver. It makes a huge difference, and you get to see that. But as things spread out right now, I think the 26 and any of these other guys are probably going to need a huge mistake out of the 38 to to be able to get this win. But the battle for second maybe could heat up a little bit. The 50 and the 26 have kind of come a little bit closer together. It's not extremely close. 26 definitely has plenty of breathing room right now. Nothing I would say he needs to worry about as long as he stays smooth. But that's probably, at least in the top 5, our closest battle at the moment, Gavin.
Yeah, and Abyss might have got away with one here, but these guys really looking to put the hammer down. And if you're going to try to catch this leader of Sideways, who is just super good here, and like I said earlier, nobody can take it away from Sideways being one of the best road course racers on a custom setup in general. I mean, this guy really knows his way around a road course. You really, a guy like Sideways he's just an obvious pick. And he's just an extremely talented driver here. Gamer also an extremely talented driver. And I believe third and fourth are kind of underrated, in my opinion, because these two guys have never really been known for the road course stuff, but they definitely got talent on a road course that shouldn't go unnoticed, especially that 50 and that 6. Those two know what they're doing on the road course. And you might see, if you look further back, they're kind of getting a little close too. The 6 might be gaining some ground. It's hard to tell. He looks like he's gaining a little bit with those one-lap fresher tires, and those can also play a factor. I believe coming down to 2 laps to go this time, if I'm not mistaken. So, white flag next time by. This race coming down to a close. It's been one fun race. You've seen it all, the road course action. It's been amazing. So I'm really excited to see how this race winds down, Abyss.
Yes, indeed. As I'm proud, I took this victory away. So
I thought
I'm very
about
happy.
jumping first.
Not so fast. Not so fast. You can't say that until the checkered flag wave.
We still got another lap.
Or another
A lot can
perfect
happen in a
lap.
lap,
You're coming to
Abyss.
one to go by Sideways. These hit is actually. How big is the gap between first and second? That's my big question.
Very big.
Almost 7 seconds.
That's...
So yeah, I mean,
We're gonna need Sideways to miss the bus stop completely.
so as of right now, Sideways just has to hit a couple more corners perfect as he goes up through the S's, and we'll see victory lane as he goes onto this. Would you call this the backstretch?
Mm-hmm.
Backstretch, okay. Backstretch into the I forgot what they call it. I think they call it the bus stop. Carousel bus stop. They have like 2 names for it. I'm not sure what it's actually
Abyss
called.
is struggling, guys. He's not used
Okay.
to the. He's not used to the.
Road courses
Watkins
aren't my
Glen
specialty
layout.
at all. as they come out of the carousel.
26.
Game,
Huge
but
mistake.
that
We'll
doesn't
see if this
matter,
gets interesting.
as OK Sideways hits turn 6 and 7, and we'll see the checkered flag, and will win and take his place to take the victory in all 3 series.
And he's the first to do it on a road course. So he will be the first to do something in this league, and the second. Pretty crazy stat for Sideways. He becomes the second driver to win in all 3 series, and is the first to win in all 3 series on a road course. What a stat if you're OK Sideways here tonight. And we got an interesting top 3 that we get to hear from tonight. I mean, this is probably going to be one of the most interesting we hear from all season. We've had some good ones, but I think tonight we got something special here coming to you guys in the booth. We can't wait to share with you guys the broadcaster, from the broadcaster's POV, what we're going to hear from these drivers. I can't wait to share it. It's going to be amazing, guys.
Absolutely. Of course you'll.
Won.
Of course
Glad I finally won.
Of course you'll get to hear from the as Abyss basks in his small victory here. I guess small victories mean something. I don't know.
Well, Kevin, you
But,
haven't won one yet, so you wouldn't know.
Actually, I think
You know what?
have.
I got a way that we can take our interviews tonight, and while we go to a quick commercial break, we'll get it sorted out for you guys. But this should be interesting here.
Oh, I know what
hear
he's going
from
to
our
have us
guys.
do. Definitely.
So
All right.
Circle.
Alrighty, we are back, and we got something a little special in the booth tonight. Looking forward to sharing this with you guys. So we're about to start interviews, and coming up third is going to be Trippy Tricks there. And had a rough start to his race, but Kevin, take it from here, and maybe you can explain why you have Trippy tonight.
I wonder why. You guys will see a pattern here, I believe, as we continue through the interviews. Usually, you guys hear us discussing, who's going to take who. Well, I guess we figured out a more simple way to do that, considering the order of the finish. But hey, Trippy, how you doing tonight?
I don't know how to feel, Kevin, to be honest.
Well, man, you had a very interesting race the way this whole thing went for you. You had a very fast truck, of course, finish out the Truck Series season, at least the road course side of things, with 2 top 3 finishes, a second and a third place. So those are really solid stats. Of course, I believe you're doing the triple duty this weekend. First time you've done that in quite a while, so some momentum for you there. But obviously, we talk about the first 2 stages of this race because I think that's where a lot of things happened for you. You got caught up in a couple of wrecks. I know you and the 6 got into it a little bit. I know both of you guys aren't always like that, with one another. So walk me through those first couple stages, and even after all that, you still managed to rebound with really solid stage finishes, especially in stage 2.
Yeah, we rolled off P5 there at the start. Material kind of missed his restart because he forgot where the restart box was, so we were able to get into the right side, right across the line there, and we got set up probably about P3 coming up the hill. And then I guess Graham Cracker said his wheel was having trouble or something, and that he blew into Casey. And then obviously they contacted me, and Casey took me out of contention for a little bit. But we rebounded and got back up to P7, which is pretty solid from what happened there. And then stage two was kind of frightening. That's the mixed emotions about it, was that Casey kind of hurt me twice in that state. Oh, actually, it was stage 1. Mark threw me up into the wall into the carousel. That's who it was. Mark had put me in the wall in the carousel. That's what sent me back. Then stage 2, Casey took me out in the bus stop, and obviously coming into turn 6, he took multiple of us out, or many of us, I should say. They took many of us out, and coming out of turn 6 there, late in stage 2, like 5 to go, I had to spin the car back around. We fell down to probably P7, P8, and we drove our way up back to P4, P3. Then Fabico took the corner a little earlier than I expected, so I kind of hit him. It knocked me loose a little bit. I lost the spot to Gamer, but recovering to P4 in that stage was phenomenal from what we had to do with that stage. And the rest of the race was just me trying to hang on to P3 and see if I could out-strategize the top two.
Well, and we talked about that, and obviously we get into stage 3, and this is where I'll drop the hint here. Of course, we start off that stage. I pick you to win the race. Things get kind of chaotic at first, and then everything really calms down, and guys begin to spread out, and we kind of get around to the only round of pit stops and any sort of strategy we had today. And you kind of took a little bit of a different path there. You came in actually a lap earlier than what majority of the field did. You kind of did the short pit that I had mentioned was possible to try to see if you could gain anything, knowing that you had kind of fallen back far enough to where you had to try something, and there was a pretty safe gap behind you where you weren't going to lose a ton. So, I mean, what was your thinking there? How did that work out for you, in your opinion, your feelings?
Well, early on in that stage, I looked at it, and we were sitting right behind Sideways, so that's when I was hoping you guys would make your ones to watch there, so maybe, I could have a better chance to win, but picking me kind of late, I was like 3 seconds off, but it's fine. But I was just banking on whatever the top two were doing, because I knew Gamer was definitely fast coming in here, and Sideways was always fast. I practiced with him earlier too, so I knew what I was getting into with that. But late in that run there, I knew my fuel gap was great, because I was basically hitting 0 coming into turn 6, so I had plenty of empty. I had plenty in the tank if I went empty to make it back around. So I was thinking, if it could work like an oval, where if the leaders stay out, I could try to short pit and pass them off there, try to hold them off for the rest of the race. But we got very close to doing it, but we just were too far behind to try to short pit them there. I was either if they would have short pit, I was going one lap extra, and vice versa, which is what I did.
Absolutely, man. And this is kind of a double question, but I'm curious about this. First of all, we start the playoffs off a couple weeks ago. That was a double off. Anyways, we start off at Phoenix, and you end up missing that race. It really set you back pretty far in the points. And we head to Michigan. You're here, trying to make up everything you can. Even the stages there, you came up with a really solid finish. I think P2 or P3 last week. You were in the top. I know we got to talk to you. So, but you came up really solid there and at the end, but the stages didn't go the way you needed them to. And again, playoffs, it's all about points. So you came in here, I think, 34 underneath of the cut line at a place where, some of the guys I think that were above the cut line or, around that area maybe struggled a little bit compared to maybe where they would normally run. Some other guys excelled. First of all, on that aspect, how do you feel like, coming out of here with the day you had, how do you feel like you're going to, end up in the points headed into the final 2 races before we set this final 4? And also, I think I mentioned, at the start of this is the first weekend in a while you're doing triple duty. You're in Xfinity Series playoffs as well. You're sitting much better points-wise in that series to try to make the championship. And then, of course, first Cup start you've had in quite some time headed in on Sunday. So how are you feeling about the rest of the weekend as well?
that was a lot to take in. But for your first question there, I missed Phoenix. To let everybody know, I missed Phoenix because we had a boys' night out, and I never would want to, take that back in the world to spend time with my friends who recently graduated. It's the little things that mean the most to me when it comes to real life situations, and with them just graduating and knowing I'm not gonna see them in school again or compete with them in academical sports is it means a lot to me that I was able to spend time with them that day. But the last couple races we haven't had the best couple stages. For some, like Michigan, we didn't have the best stages. We got a point or two, but we got a solid finish out of it. But we're just fighting for everything we had. I think tonight was a make or break situation for me. I needed to have a big night, or it was probably gonna start losing hopes for me to make it. And stage 1 was a little bit rough, but stage 2 and 3 have got me a little bit more amped up. That I think maybe I can do the make and not break in this situation that I'm in. But for the second question, yeah, I haven't raced Cup. I haven't really done triple duty since Chicagoland. That's the last time I ran. I got third at Chicagoland. Almost had a chance to win there. But I'm very excited. This is if you would have asked me in the past if I wanted to do triple duty at Watkins Glen, I would definitely would have said no. But just with the more experience that I've gotten with this road courses and playing other games like F1 and Project Cars, I've gotten to be more comfortable with most of these road courses, and I'm having more fun with it because I'm getting very competitive with these. And tomorrow we're coming in with the points lead +4 up, and I think I honestly I'm gonna have a better chance at the win tomorrow than I did tonight because Gamer's probably gonna be hot seating, but I probably won't see people like Sideways there, and everybody that I'm pretty much racing against tomorrow was in that race tonight, but minus 2 or 3 people. And for Cup, I'm just excited to see what I can put my car out there for. I'm pretty sure RHRL is running too, so he's probably going to be the main one to watch. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge to you guys here. So, I'll probably be in this party. But, I'm just looking to see what I can do and see if I could keep a great momentum in at my road courses and see if I could keep getting top 3s at these places.
Absolutely, man. And of course, before I free you from my torturing interview, I gotta ask, and this is always the most fun part of your interviews, so I can only imagine what we got today. But Vinny, obviously, P3 finish is very, very crucial for you during the Truck Series playoffs, especially missing Phoenix. Any shout-outs, thank yous, anything of that sort you'd like to give after that tonight?
Absolutely. I'd like to shout out the booth, you guys for having me every week. It's fun being able to talk to you guys and hearing me complain or be happy about something or give you guys a heads up for what's going on. It's always enjoyable to have. I'd like to shout out Casey and apologize. We both, none of that on track between us was personal. It was just one of us making a mistake or just having some sort of bubble or lag issue between us, but none of that was personal between us, and it was just us racing hard for what we want, and we're both racing for the same thing. I've known Casey for a very long time now, and I know he's not like that around me in situations like that, and obviously there's no reason. You guys heard me get mad about it, but that's because of what situation I'm in. But there's no hard feelings about it. I hope between the two of us, I think we'll probably be laughing it off later. But shout out to him. And this is the interesting part. Shout out to my brother-in-law and Toasted Gamers, and shout out to Ellie. I actually bought Toasted and Ellie a truck this week so they could park it in the bus stop to watch me run laps around here. And I'm just very happy that I was able to park it there for them. And I know she had a good time watching me race hard around the track and battling for the lead. So that was phenomenal to see.
And ironically enough, the bus stop probably ended up being the most action-packed spot of the racetrack for you tonight, so I guess that was the place to be. But all in all, congratulations again, Vinny, on a P3, and good luck in not one but two of your other races this weekend. Of course, first Cup starting in a very long time, and then Xfinity tomorrow night.
Thank you. Hopefully I'll be talking to you guys for the rest of the weekend.
Yes, sir. Thank you. And Gavin, you are with your boy here. I know you like talking about him. It's fun to talk about him too, because we don't get to talk about him maybe as much as we would like to, but he really does show up on these road courses. We saw it earlier in the season at Canadian Tire, and he really shined here tonight. Our P2 finisher of Gamer.
Yeah, it's hard not to be biased with a guy like Gamer. Definitely a guy who's respected on the track, and he's a quieter guy, but one of my favorite guys to race with in my league and here. This is just one of my favorite people to race with in general, and I don't know what it is. It's just something about Gamer that I like about him. He's a cool guy in general, and finishes P2 tonight. Gamer, you got a copy. Alrighty, it's great to hear from you and glad to see you finally got a
Make sure you put audio in,
you
Gamer.
deserved. You finished second here tonight, your best finish to date, and it comes at one of your best races, Homestead and road courses in general. are your cream of the crop here, and I'm really glad to see you here tonight. Just run me through your race. What did you have to do to, one, rebound in stage one? I know you got wrecked early. We'll start with that. How did you rebound to a top 5 finish in stage one after that lap 1 incident? Alrighty. Make sure you have the box checked in. Graham says he cannot hear you.
Okay, you
Make sure
guys
the
hear me
box
now?
checked at the top.
You guys hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. I just checked.
Okay.
Alrighty. For stage number 2, it kind of had the same incident happen to you there, where you got into a incident there early.
Yeah.
And then managed to rebound again, and then a little scuffle happened between second, third, and fourth. I believe that was you, Trippy, and Fabico, if I'm not mistaken, all duking it out for third there. Explain to me what was going through your head there to try to sneak out with third, which you happened to do. Explain to me how you managed to get through that untouched and managed to get those 8 stage points there and finish in third, stage 2.
I just saw an opportunity when it presented itself. My truck was really excellent through the bus stop. And I kind of feel like I just forced it a little bit into the bus stop, just a tad, because I thought I was going to spin out exiting, but luckily my truck was able to stay up on the 4 wheels, not turn, and there was just enough of a gap where I could just go on the outside of them both and just overtake.
Yeah, I mean, that was a pretty epic move there. I mean, I believe all 3 of us were kind of like more focused on the battle for third than we were on first and second. I don't even think we saw the stage finish.
I was surprised
But,
I even did that myself.
But yeah, epic stage 2 finish there, and then stage 3 you get to second, and then you don't look back. You had a ton of speed. Really happy that you finished second there, and I know I speak for all of us in the booth when we say we're extremely proud to see you get this finish. And I would also like to ask, I'm going to take Kevin's question from him. I'm going to irritate him that way because that's just what I like to do. Do you have any shout-outs here for tonight?
My shout-outs, I want to thank the booth. You guys do great with broadcasting these races. And for the ones to watch, you guys motivated me. Gavin, you, Kevin, and was there anyone else broadcasting?
Abyss.
It was
Okay.
Dang, Abyss. Okay, Abyss.
Okay, I'm sorry, Abyss.
Because I'll go back into my
Hey, it's fine. Last weekend, Abyss had trouble
Because
saying people's gamer
I never
tags.
get up here
So.
much. You guys know this. This is literally my first deserving interview. But yeah. Once I heard you guys doing once a watch, I tried pushing myself just a little bit more, trying to see if I could get closer to sideways. But he was quick. But I just kept making mistakes, and it set me back. And I know I got second, but considering how my season's been, and I haven't been mentioned much for this season, I'll take it.
Yeah, it was one heck of a finish for you and career best up to date. Really excited to see what the rest of the season has for you, and good luck in the rest of the playoffs, and hope to see you in the Final Four.
Yep, thank you guys.
That is P2 finisher tonight. Gamer is blazing, and now we move on to our winner, might I add. He is the first to win on a road course in all 3 series. Abyss, you get your pick for the ones to watch. The winner, OK Sideways.
Yes, my friend. And Mr. OK Sideways, hey, my friend, you got a copy.
Oh, for sure I do.
Man, we saw you once you took the lead from Asylums, you just completely dominated. Like it was not even job. When you enter the party, you said you were on cruise control. That scared me a little bit. Man, tell us how your truck was the entire night.
It handled perfectly, exactly how you'd want a truck to handle at a road course.
Did you see any threat when you're battling Asylums or anyone else out there that may have taken the win away from you?
I was a little scared when Gamer got to second because he's been really fast and he's one of those guys where you can never doubt that he's got the speed at a road course.
If you think Gamer didn't make that many mistakes, I don't know how many he did, but do you think he could have been with you all the way to the end and maybe have actually gotten beside you and taken the victory?
He was still with me, like even with those mistakes, especially with the pit stop. It was definitely scary. So I was just the one trying not to make the mistakes, and luckily it worked out.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. I think Gamer wish you had a couple mistakes on your own half. I think the field did too, to be honest with you. But how does it feel to know that you've won in every series?
It's starting to make me feel like Kyle Busch. You can win in the Cup Series once, but then you come down in the Truck Series and you can still win. It's a good feeling.
And does it also feel good to know that you're the first person to do it on all road courses?
It kind of grows an ego a little bit on these places where you turn left and right. So it's definitely helping. Learning a lot.
I think we should call you the Kyle Busch of RHRL. Going everywhere on road courses, winning everywhere. Do you see any way you're gonna? I don't think you're doing Xfinity. Do you think you can get a winning Cup?
Hope so. I mean, we got a Rishikala there. He's a known road course guy as well, so we're hopefully gonna have a great battle there. I think it's gonna be entertaining to watch.
I don't think I got any more questions besides the one I'm gonna steal from Kevin here. You have anyone to thank for your victory tonight, my friend?
I think the first person I got to shout out is T-Glass. I ran out of gold the other day. It was yesterday actually, and he came in clutch with the game share to nab some gold off of him. So he's really the real reason why I'm in this online lobby. Got to thank y'all in the booth for putting on this great performance here. Just commentating exceeds the racing. You can watch a race, but then when you hear the commentary, it just makes it so much better. You guys are doing a really good job up here.
Well, thank you, my friend. And again, I'm glad I picked you for my one to watch because I believed in you all the way to the checkered flag, my friend.
I appreciate that.
Do you guys have any questions for OK Sideways?
No, I'm good. Just congratulations. No, I do have a comment though. So based on that fact, which we already knew about this pre-race, but I just want to say, Sideways loves T-Glass right now because he got him the win here because he gave him gold. Well, Gamer and Trippy are probably in their head thinking, T-Glass, why do you even exist? Because if you eliminate Sideways as gold, then Gamer's your winner. Just interesting theory, but no, in all seriousness, congratulations, Sideways.
Thank you.
Something that just popped into my head, Sideways could be giving a Kevin Durant type of press conference here to T-Glass saying, you the real MVP for hooking me up with some gold. But no, that was such a good race, honestly. I had a really fun time. These road courses this season have been nonetheless action-packed and full of excitement as they were earlier when we hit Canadian Tire, and it's been extremely fun to watch these guys rip it left and right tonight. What do you guys think?
I would like to see this race out OK Sideways now. I'm interested in how this would have played out, to be honest with you. I'm interested now. I want to see how
I believe somebody forgot to turn off the fountain in the infield that doesn't exist at Watkins Glen.
No, it's not, but still.
Kevin. But, I mean, I think we might see a completely different race if OK Sideways wasn't here. So that's my mind now going into thinking that this race is over now. What would have happened if this guy was not here to complete his I guess road course winning sweep?
You can always speculate what would happen, but you never know until it does. And it's been a really epic night tonight of racing, and I can't wait to see what our Xfinity guys have for us tomorrow, as that looks to be probably an extremely good race, and it might be even closer in competition as well, as we'll see a lot of competitive guys in that Xfinity field duke it out. And Kevin was right when he said this will be one of those races where it'll shake up the playoffs. I mean, it's already looking to do so. I mean, we see guys that we don't normally see up in the front in the Truck Series run up front, and some guys that have had tough seasons turn it around here. I mean, it's just been one of those races where everything that you expect to happen might have happened, and some things you don't expect to happen as well. So it's been a really good race. And any final thoughts here tonight, Biss or Kevin, before we close it up here?
I'm just happy I finally won. I'm happy I finally won.
He's still going on about this, but no.
Basking in the glory.
First of all, update: the fountain was turned off. That got taken care of. But besides that, no. I mean, like I said, and I know Gavin, you even came into this season, and I know driving-wise, you're still not a huge road course fan, but I feel like maybe the races we've seen throughout the season so far, and of course we'll continue to see throughout the rest of the weekend, maybe have changed your, at least commentary-wise, your stance a little bit on road courses, because these things can really be fun. There's a lot going into them, especially too with the no cautions and that type of thing. There's a lot more on at stake, and putting this in the playoffs, it adds all the more to it. And it produced. We had some small tempers, some beating and banging, and some close battles, and just a lot of fun tonight. So a little bit of strategy in stage 3. So I couldn't ask for a better road course race, and I love Watkins Glen calling this place. It's probably the one road course I know the best as far as the layout, so that helps me. But and I think we'll see the same tomorrow. Actually, I feel like tomorrow might end up being just a little bit more competitive. We'll have to see what happens, but I'm really looking forward to tomorrow and Sunday too. So I really enjoyed the Mid-Ohio races for Xfinity and Cup, and I think we'll have the same results, at Watkins Glen these next 2 days. But of course, gotta shout out, my usual folks as well. The usual folks. First of all, our amazing sponsor, amazing partner, Sokobi Diecast. Grow that diecast collection. I was just looking through today. They had a ton of stuff actually come in and stock today. You can go on there and buy, and it'll ship immediately. You don't have to wait for it for pre-orders. There was some stuff from this year, some stuff from last year. A ton of stuff came in today. So go check out the website and see what they got. NASCAR. Most of what I saw today was NASCAR stuff, but I saw some like K&N or ARCA West and East diecasts. I saw some. Of course, they have the usual IndyCar, NHRA, Sprint Car, late model, all that stuff in there as well. So go check that out. CircuitDiecast.com. When you do, if you make a purchase that's $20 or more and you live in the United States, make sure you utilize the great gift that they give us, which is code RHRL. That will get you free shipping on all of your purchases that are $20 or more, as long as you live in the United States. And again, as I say all the time, as a diecast collector, I can tell you when you buy those things in bulk, the shipping cost does add up. So save yourself that extra payout and support those guys. They support us. And again, at some point soon here in the next couple of months, I feel like we might be able to expand that a little bit and maybe try to surprise you guys a little bit. We'll see what we can work out of it, though. I won't say too much because I don't want to get anybody's hopes up. But that's what our goal is. But other than that, again, thank you guys for tuning in every week. We hit a huge milestone tonight, or at least for Gavin, and it kind of, I feel the same enjoyment out of it, and I'm sure Abyss does too. But hitting 100 followers, we've been so close for a couple weeks. That's a huge milestone, and we can't wait to see that grow throughout the coming weeks, months, and hopefully years. But thank you guys for that. That's awesome, and seeing everybody tune in each week, I love seeing that. It's amazing. It means so much to us as commentators, to me and Gavin, who are admins of the league, along with the other 8 admins, and plus all the drivers that put on these great shows every week. So it means so much. Thank you guys for tuning in, and again, the 100 followers. That's a huge milestone. We want to see that continue to grow. So, with that being said, I hope y'all enjoyed the race tonight, and I'm going to shut up now because I know everybody wants me to.
You know, I'm going to add on to what you said there about the Circle B Diecast's stock. I noticed, too, on Twitter, they made a post for all you Kyle Busch fans. They got, I believe, all of his Xfinity wins this season.
I did
now
see
in
that.
164 in a collection of, I believe it's 5 or 6.
5.
Be sure to go get that. He got his extra car, his M&M's cars, and I believe his Skittles
gummies.
And I'm trying to think of the other. I think there's one more, the Twix. I'm missing that one. Okay, there we go. They got all of his wins in Xfinity, I believe, all the way up to 102 in the 164 scale. If you're a Kyle Busch fan, that's a great combo for you to buy, in my opinion. Because if something like that came out for my favorite drivers in either series, I would be jumping on that. So that's definitely something that, if you're a huge Kyle Busch fan, might be something to look into. But guys, it's been fun. It's been a great race. We got to witness some great road course action. I'm not a fan on the track when I'm behind the wheel. I honestly look like a Rick Ware car out here when I'm on a road course, but I can really respect the guys that are good at it, and I love watching them show everybody how it's done. Especially our top 3 tonight really showed what true road course racing looks like, and the whole field really did. It was an extremely clean race, in my opinion, for how tough this course really is. Some people underestimate how tough it is to run a road course, and it is hard. I can tell you from being no good at it that it is very difficult to run at a road course. But guys, it's been a super exciting race, and I only can't wait for what we got tomorrow, and it's going to be really fun. You can catch all of your RHRL action that we'll see this weekend by tomorrow. We'll see the Xfinity race here on my channel at the same time. It should be really, really fun to see these Xfinity cars go around. They handle a lot differently. So make sure you catch that. And thank you guys for the endless support on my channel and for the RHRL racing community. It's really awesome to see the pouring support from everyone around the community for this league, and we really appreciate it. But for K. Harvick fan, Dark Abyss of Racing, and we hope to see you guys tomorrow for the Xfinity Series action at Watkins Glen, and we'll see you there, guys. Thank you for watching.